There is nothing like standing at the edge of the ocean, with each wave barreling in one after the other. Our senses can help but be ignited. Smelling that salty and briny sea breeze, seeing its vastness as our eyes scan the horizon to try to comprehend its end, and feeling so small in the middle of its mighty roar or quiet stillness. These are emotions only the ocean can stir. The perception of all the world's ocean is pretty much the same. However, the Bay of Bengal is somewhere different. Today we will know the largest bay in the world is about the Bay of Bengal. Found in the northeastern part of the Indian Ocean, you will find the Bay of Bengal. The reason it is known as the Bay of Bengal is that north of the bay is the state, West Bengal and also Bangladesh. There are many countries with the Bay of Bengal as their coastlines such as India, Sri Lanka and Myanmar. Unfortunately, due to pollution in the area, there is something known as the Asian brown cloud that hangs over the bay from January to March. This is actually the world's largest water region that is called a bay with a surface area of 389,000 miles. The bay gets its name from the historical Bengal region. In ancient Indian scriptures, this water body may have been referred to as Mahodadi, while its appears as Sinus Gangeticus or Gangeticus Sinus, meaning Gulf of the Ganges in ancient maps. The Bay of Bengal is bordered to the north by a wide continental shelf that narrows to the south and by slopes of varying gradient on the northwest, north and northeast, all cut by canyons from the rivers. Most important, the Ganges, Brahmaputra, Andhra, Mahadevan, Krishna and Godavari canyons. The bay itself was formed as the Indian subcontinent collided with Asia within roughly the past 50 million years. The climate of the Bay of Bengal is dominated by the monsoons. From November through April, a continental high-pressure system north of the bay produces northeast winds, characteristics of the winter season. During the northern summer, the rain-bearing northwest monsoon prevails. As intense heat produces a low-pressure system over the continent and a subsequent airflow from the ocean. Cyclone-intense tropical storms of high winds and torrential rains occur in spring and fall. These are the weeks preceding the onset of monsoon rains and the weeks following their retreat. A cyclone in November 1970 in the Ganges River Delta resulted in the deaths of an enormous number of people and livestock. A storm of comparable magnitude in April 1991 devastated the eastern shore of Bangladesh. The Bay of Bengal has a distinct tropical marine ecosystem and copious river drainage into the northern part of the bay, and profusion of wetlands, marshes, and mangroves increase productivity of nearshore fish species. The exploitation of these resources is carried out by small-scale fisheries. Commercial fishing in deeper waters is done largely by countries bordering the bay and by Japan. The annual catch of prawns, the major export crop, has remained stable despite intensified harvesting. Several species of tuna found in the bay also are important. The tuna fishery is confined to the true oceanic sector of the bay, south of latitude 15 degrees north, since freshwater runoff from the large rivers greatly influences the nearshore waters. The principal trade routes for large tankers route from the Persian Gulf to the Strait of Malacca pass south of the Bay of Bengal. Hence, oceanic transportation is limited to carriage of cargoes, and from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and the east coast of India. Interest in scientific study of the bay grew in the 20th century, especially after World War II. The coast of Bangladesh is known as a zone of multiple vulnerabilities as well as opportunities. A large number of chemical and fertilizer industries have been established on both the banks of the Karnataka River. A number of industries, namely fertilizer, cement, pulp and paper, food processing, pharmaceuticals, metal, textile, chemical, petroleum, lubricant plants, etc., discharge heavy metals into the coastal water. The Bay of Bengal and Karnataka River are heavily polluted in areas close to Chittagong port channel due to discharge oil and chemical waste leaked from ships. Plastic bottles and other plastic products are most common forms of litter in the coastal water. The rapid and unplanned increase in shrimp culture is also becoming a concern. The use of antibiotics and other chemicals used in shrimp fields is causing pollution in water, which may harm other aquatic lives. It also generates 15 tons of waste daily, which comes into sea. Bay of Bengal is not only a bay, but also a great reservoir of marine resources and biodiversity. It provides a new hope and spirit for Bangladesh. All people should be aware about for conserving the marine resources in a sustainable way and make the bay a friendly-based ecosystem biodiversity for ensuring better life in future.